Hello everyone! This video was made last year, so I'll provide some updated information on it, and also my design might alter, but who cares? On with the video! Sora gives his opinion on
the Nintendo 64.
Because he's bored, yeah. There's this one thing I've been questioning about for a long time, and it's the concern about, is it okay to play a prototype on the N64? I mean, sure, if you want to play on like a flash card or something, that's cool. But if you're playing on like an original prototype card, that's where it starts to get a little weird. Because you have like two very popular video game historians saying like, don't put it into the Nintendo 64, it would wipe the data away.
Essentially, you want to avoid actually plugging it into real hardware because you don't really know the state of the actual cartridge itself. It could be on its last legs. The contacts may be really badly worn out.
But these people basically tried to warn her against booting it. Do not boot the cart under any circumstances. Make sure that it's properly dumped and preserved first, which was very good advice. And you see, N64 dev carts are particularly fickle, right? They can delete very easily. Some will delete themselves after the system's powered off. It's like a sort of a kill switch sort of thing.
More on that in a sec.
But then you have someone that owns N64 prototypes and then proves them to show you that it's all alright.
So I'm here to debunk the myth. Let's go. Let's power it off then. It's turned off. Oh my god. Now all the data on it is gone. Nope, it isn't. Plays perfectly fine. Let's power it off one more time.
I think you get the idea. So now I start to have questions. Now you could make the argument that the kill switch wasn't on because these are review copies, but then there's Space World 1995, a year before the Nintendo 64 came out, by the way, and some of the footage, someone reset the console during its demo play, and the game still works. Editor's note, I found the footage.
Die Grafik hat ganz andere Farbtiefe. Man hat Route Shading, das heißt Schatteneffekte.
Huh?
And even I have a few questions of my own. Like, imagine if a Nintendo developer was working on something like this, and they were testing a prototype of themselves, and then someone resets the console or shuts it off. I'd imagine it would be very tiring to put back the data into the cartridge every single time you shut it off. And let's come back to that last quote.
They can delete very easily. Some will delete themselves after the system's powered off. It's like a sort of a kill switch sort of thing.
That info does not seem right to me at all. Because if you're talking about wiping data, you're talking about something like that's a save file or something. Take for an example a Game Boy Color cartridge. While yes, the save file could get removed over time, the ROM data itself is fine because it's stored on a chip. And a Nintendo 64 prototype has a lot of them. I could just be dumb on this info, but I want to hear what you guys think. Alright, last editor's note before finishing off the video. This is in no way a message to avoid prototype ROM dumping. This is not in any way of that. Heck, I even have a ROM dumper myself. This is just me trying to figure out all the answers to this N64 prototype nonsense that I just can't seem to... God, even recording this I feel so dizzy. The heck did he go? Now, as many of you know from my channel, I have quite the logo obsession, and throughout those years I've been looking through a bunch of sites to find something obscure about those companies I've been obsessing over. Before you ask, yes, I am going unscripted for this. But there's some logos that I've dreamed about or have like a very long memory of it that's been stuck in my brain ever since. And today, we're going to be taking a look at those.
Excuse me, what's going on? You're the turkey. What?
Now, I can't remember exactly, but there was this really weird variant of the THX text logo. Probably fan-made, and it was all in this kind of 2000s low-ish budget CGI that was animated in. Now, I don't think it was YouTube that I found it on. I think it was like Bing or something. Either that or something called Media Cafe. It started off as a mixture of Tex's original trailer and his Mucan trailer, where the THX logo breaks down, and Tex landing on the ground. Though for some strange reason, he comes out of the X door. Tex's design looks kinda the same, except he has like some lighter metal skin or something. Not to mention the THX logo looks like it's in Arial black font. Anyway, back what I was talking about. Tex doesn't have his move can this time. He's instead looking around, just wondering what the heck is going on, and he decides, whatever. So he flies off, moving to the T, when all of a sudden, I don't know how to describe it, but it looks like Slinky from Toy Story. Stay with me on this, but it's all text colored and such. Jumps on screen and starts sniffing the camera like moves out of the camera and then moves to the H when I hear this really, really weird liquidy sound in the background. And it's like, that can't be what I think it is. But then the logo's fixed, text moves off screen, and so does the puppy. And that was the end of the trailer. Very, very weird. The last thing I remember before moving on to the next one was that I remember its title. It's along the lines of THX history, but it's a very, very vague title. It could just be someone just mistaking it for a real trailer and just decided to put it in. Okay, this one I could definitely say is 100% real because I know some of my friends have seen this one. There is a variant of the 20th Century Fox logo involving a UFO. And I'm not talking about the 75th anniversary where they have the Independence Day UFO. No. This was during their 1994 logo was still on screen. I was on Google Images when I was looking up some 20th Century Fox logos. And what I saw was like a picture of like their office building with a bunch of employees smiling at the camera. But what I was more interested was the table. The table showed the 1994 20th Century Fox logo, but with a UFO capturing the 20th. The only theory that I can come up with in my head is, what if this was related to the X-Files in some way? Like, what if they were doing it for like some sort of promotion for the series or for like their movie? I tried looking for it again, but I can't find it anymore. So if you happen to know where the image is, please let me know. Before you guys panic, let me explain. There was one memory I had with the web archive when I was searching up anything random I could think of, and I come across this very, very pink website with a bunch of broken images with the word download below it. However, one wasn't broken though, and it was him. It was Tex with his jetpack and everything on it. Could it be too good to be true? I clicked on the link and it was a broken link. I doubt the site would even exist anymore because of how protective THX and Disney are. But oh well, one can dream. And now it's time for the miscellaneous round. Oh, I wonder what's on TV today. Whoa! I'm at the 20th Century Fox Studios lot! Wait, why are my friends in prison?
That's weird, I don't remember this place.
Whoa, I'm at the video store! Oh, a copy of Rugrats in Paris? Oh, I gotta take a look at this. Well, might as well get out of here. And that's pretty much it. If you happen to come across these logo memories that I had before, or if you have any logo dreams of your own, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll provide some more content soon. So a few years ago, I used to watch an old show called Logo Mysteries. It's basically where if they find a logo which is unconfirmed, they'll be able to figure it out if it's legit or not. Looking back at this series, I wonder, where are they now? Were they real this whole time? Are they still unconfirmed? Let's find out together.
Various trade adverts have hinted at the fact that they did have a logo around this time, in which they did, seen right here.
And that one was already disproven years later.
Eric S. has compiled a list of polygram television output from the early 1980s.
I could continue on, but they all seem to be inconclusive. Hello, Current Sora here. So quick update, these pilots did exist due to the information provided by Merv, but they were just never aired on TV, so that kind of explains it. So yeah, continuing on with my ramble.
I'm just going to tell you this right now. This logo is fake.
Well, that was easy.
The reason why this case is open is because this very logo might be seen on sales prints of various Hanna-Barbera shows.
I'm not exactly too sure. Even with the findings of that Viacom logo and Paramount logo, I think the most that we're gonna get is like an in credit notice. Heck, I don't even know if there's any sales prints of Scooby-Doo shows like that.
There is no way that a Screen Gems logo like this will be used as an on-screen logo in the 1980s. Why? because a Coca-Cola telecommunications logo will be used instead.
Not to mention, this is from a magazine ad, and if you know magazines, they make some crazy stuff.
It's very interesting, but it's a tease for Coca-Cola to use the Screen Gems name and logo. If my theory is correct, then I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Bros. Started using the Lorimar name on a special occasion.
Hey, anything can happen. Cartoon Network Studios Europe did the exact same thing.
I like this.
Unlike other episodes in Logo Mysteries, all of these logos are assumed to be confirmed.
So wait, does that mean that? Whatever, I'll go for it anyway.
Have a look at the label on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. TMS Distribution. The year is 1993, and Hoyts were always playing second fiddle to Village Roadshow. Riddled with debt, they needed a restructure. And so, with the help of some banks, their corporate identity changed to TMS. It was clear that this name was trying to separate itself from Hoyts, although I can't imagine why.
Now, I don't know too much about Australian home media stuff, but I do remember something similar happening in America. Several years ago, Sega and Nintendo allowed third-party companies to distribute their titles onto their platforms. However, due to some agreement, they were only limited to about a small number of those titles, and that led to reverse engineering, unlicensed games, and new distribution units to get around that limit. It's possible Hoyts did this to get around some sort of agreement with Roadshow, but I can't say for certain.
Hoyts really started kicking back in the distribution game around the mid-2000s, culminating in their release of Summit Entertainment films like Twilight, before their eventual purchase to Studio Canal in 2012.
And now Summit looks like this.
Oh my goodness!
Next up, Grady Union. Fast forward to the 1992 release of the children's animation Blinky Bill, and you can see that Grady Union is still going strong as a distribution arm, complete with a new logo and a byline.
And 8 days later, at the time of this recording, it's got its official on-screen logo. Hello, post-editor Sora here. After talking with Logo Archive, this isn't actually the logo that he was talking about, since that logo was replaced with this. The logo he's actually talking about just came out just recently. Well, okay, a picture of it, but you get what I mean. This is the first time it's ever premiered on YouTube, so I present to you the Greater Union Distributors logo from 1988. This was on a picture of a film strip that was posted on Facebook around like a month ago. So yeah, I apologize if I got the other logos mixed up with the other one. Anyways, back to the video. Wait a minute. There's a video of it now. Okay, now back to the video.
Most of you will remember the Village Roadshow logo I posted about a month or two ago.
7 years ago.
It was finally found in all of its glory, and I thought that the search for the rarest logo in Australia was over. But if this print logo is true, that means that the Delinquents holds even more mysteries than just the full Village Roadshow logo. And that would be a really strange prospect. Greater Union distributing a Village Roadshow Pictures film, when Village Roadshow have their own distribution label that they could have used.
I'm assuming it's some international distribution agreement. It's kind of like how Regency is allowed to produce films for other companies, but 20th Century Fox would still own the international rights of those films.
Umbrella Entertainment have released a DVD of the 1992 Blinky Bill film, but it's in full screen, which means that it's unlikely that the Greater Union logo will be preserved.
I've looked around to find that DVD version of the movie, but the only thing I've come close to it is a Spanish DVD version of the film, and it doesn't even have it either.
Oh yes, Roadshow had the byline too. Was this ever an on-screen logo, or was it only a print logo? Roadshow would have obviously had to come up with a new animated logo for Greater Union Distributors, so they would obviously have the chance.
They would, but according to the GU capture, there was no mention of a byline at all. I guess they just didn't bother.
It is possible that the Roadshow television logo is actually an adaptation of a preview bumper for films released by Village Roadshow during that time, and that the full logo that you see on the Roadshow home video logo is actually an adaptation of their releasing logo.
Now, I can't confirm anything on the television front, but there is footage of the releasing logo. You want to see it? Man, that is huge!
An earlier prototype allegedly exists, with the classic text in white and the red parallelogram on a navy blue gradient background. Gee, what does that remind you of? Whoever came up with this alleged logo find, I completely understand that your memory might have been mixed up, because distorted memories happen all the time.
Wait, does that mean that UFO 20th Century Fox logo was never real? Nah, that's silly.
Evergreen Programs was more or less an in-name only division, or some kind of subdivision of marketing. The shows that are advertised by Evergreen Programs were old. It even says it right there in fine print. Remember when I discussed the probability of sales prints of certain shows in the previous episode? After all we did was discuss that Evergreen Programs was not a distribution subdivision.
This one sounds more possible than the Taft HB logo, but then again, I could be wrong. I think it's just due to the fact that the Taft HB logo is just a trademark, while Evergreen was on advertisement prints. But besides that, I got nothing to add.
It likely appeared at the end of Hollywood Pictures movies on cable in the time frame.
Very doubtful of that, because you know what logo appears at the end of those films? It's either or. And personally, in my opinion, it wouldn't make sense to have another TV label just for Hollywood Pictures material, especially when Disney likes to combine their mature library in one basket, kinda like what they're doing right now with 20th Century Studios.
What the hell was this division supposed to be?
International programming?
Paramount produced and syndicated unsuccessful TV projects way before they bought Desilu, so we might have a clue there. Also, have you ever noticed that TV prints of movies in the 1950s had a logo spliced onto the film? It happened to post-1950 WB and Fox with 7 Arts.
An old television pilot could be really possible, but maybe not a syndicated film back then. I'm assuming Universal had a different distributor back then.
It seems that there are 2 possible ways to find this logo. One is to look for home recordings of the special from the early 80s. Another is to look for 16mm prints of the special.
Considering it was broadcasted by NBC, it could be still possible it might be in their station's archives. Or, and this is a big or, we could check if Warner Archive is willing to do a scan of the film. I mean, knowing they did so many scans of Chuck Jones material on MeTV, and on Blu-ray and DVD, how could they refuse? By the way, don't actually ask Warner Archive for that. This is just a theory.
I asked executive producer Eric S. if there were any clues that he found so we can get closer to solving the mystery. Fortunately, there were clues. House Call, a 90-second program starring Dr. Lyndon Smith and Merle Ellis's The Butcher. The only way these programs might be available are through home recordings. But even this is nearly impossible to realize. I mean, who would save up recordings of this guy?
Considering that VHS has dominated the market back then, you don't know what people would record on those. There was a 5th episode by Matthew Mayfield, but I can't find the episode anymore. So until I find episode 5, this is all I got so far. As for what's shown to me, it was still interesting, but there was a lot more holes into those mysteries. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still worth talking about, but I don't know. I will say though, I would definitely come back to this video sometime later, if I do manage to find episode 5. Till then, see you later!
Dude, I'm so excited I could scream. The Super Mario Brothers movie is here! Mario!
Well, this is something unexpected for my channel. I review movies now.
Welcome to the club.
Yes, I know, this is an unoriginal concept. But I wanted to try this out since everybody has different opinions on what type of media they're into. So why not start with the Mario movie? Now, you can't talk about the Illumination Mario movie without bringing up the other Mario films. I was very little since I last seen this movie, but I do remember enjoying this movie. I don't know if I plan on rewatching this film again, because there's so much I remember from this film, but I just can't remember my original thoughts of it. They were all mostly like, Mario! Birds! Then there's, oh, a nice Dougie. But then there's like, who are you? But again, really good film.
They're brothers. They're plumbers.
Now this is an interesting case. I saw two versions of the exact same film, and I remember the director's cut version of the film more than the actual theatrical version. Although I do remember laughing at these scenes.
Monkey!
I also remember a lot of people hating on this movie, including the cast and crew. There's two people I remember hating on this film. First, there was the nostalgia critic.
There's a strange running joke where Koopa tries to order a pizza.
Dino, lizard, hold the mammal, and spicy.
Okay, I wouldn't even call that a running joke, that's just confusing. And then there's Bob Hoskins, the original actor for Mario. He was quoted saying it was the worst thing he ever did. The whole experience was a nightmare. As for my thoughts on the movie, it's... I mean, I get what they're trying to go for more in the director's cut, but I'm still... Okay, I think everybody knows where this is headed.
What? Are you fucking kidding me? Queen's Gambit!
That could actually be really good.
I mean, I like 20 days. This is not real. I was just smoking a lot of weed.
After the film being announced and the cast was revealed, everybody went bonkers. Nobody expected Chris Pratt to be Mario. However, things were changing pretty fast. Several months went by and we got a new poster, release date, heck, even some trailers.
Now who's gonna stop me? Come on, Mario!
Let's go. No problem.
Ah! Get it up! Get it up! Wahoo!
I will take your entire stock. While people were still unsure about Chris Pratt, there's a brighter hope for the film now. Heck, even Chris Pratt re-recorded his lines.
Woohoo!
People's opinions on the voices were changing, but then that leads to the question, is the film good? Well... that was amazing. I won't be going into spoilers here, but this film is amazing. Chris Pratt actually sounds really good as Mario. The environment in each scene was phenomenal, and I kept getting hooked as the film progressed. Some people said that the story was moving a bit too fast, but I never gotten that problem. I felt really emotional watching this movie, and I highly recommend checking it out. I don't have a dedicated rating or whenever I do another review like this, but I'll let you know if I do happen to do another one of those. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Hello everyone! I wanted to make an update on the N64 prototype video that I did, because I, got some info wrong. I was so confused on how a Nintendo 64 demo would delete itself so quickly after being played.
Some will delete themselves after the system's powered off.
Someone reset the console, and the game still works. All of that of what I just said has been thrown out the window because I saw this.
Developers used this adapter when they were going to reveal or demonstrate some new hardware that they were working on. Shows like Space World 99, E3, that type of thing.
Yeah, so that's what they meant about that kill switch. It was from that device. Oh, mamma mia.
But I'm not done yet.
Now, I'll admit, I should have done more research on this topic, because I originally thought the kill switch was coming from the cartridges, not the adapter. Well, this makes me question why Nintendo didn't do this earlier. I mean, someone did try to steal an SNES cartridge of Star Fox 2. I feel like they should be really concerned after that. I mean, come on, that glass ain't that secure. Although I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff, so who am I to judge? I was originally asking Forest of Illusion if they had more info on what I was talking about before, but since they shut down a few days ago, I'm unlikely to get a response. But hey, if all this discussing stuff interests you, then feel free to hop in and subscribe. I promise I won't upload as much logos as I usually do, because they are huge! So expect more like reviews, video game footage, and even more episodes of Bootup. See you then!
I heard my voice.
Well, here we are. Another episode of Rail. How about we do something special for this one? Let's play some charades. Can you guess who am I? I am gay. Alright, what's our logo for tonight? Oh my I blame you! Classic Supo is an animation company that did commercials and The Simpsons and Rugrats and all that. I suggest you go and watch their official history video. It's on their channel. It explains everything. This logo really ain't that bad. I'm surprised nobody talks about it that much. This next logo, however. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is worse than the time that they forced me to make a scanned VEG replacement.
Puzz? Ah, well, might as well do the rest of it. This logo's pretty fantastic, but its flaws reside in its fan base. Some may find this logo scary. I personally don't. Well, except that one time. But it's a cool logo. One thing to note is that there is an alternate version of this logo, but I'm personally not a fan of it. And the updated version isn't helping much either. Oh my god, I wish they used this one more. Everything about Class Geek Chupo's style fits this logo well. The sound, the green aesthetic, the logo's design, freaking loved it.
Number 4.
Oof, that is not a good look. Now granted, this is for like a web series that didn't have much budget on it, so I can't complain too much about it, but still, this is like a massive downgrade compared to the other logos. And I guess that's about it. I was gonna have Puzz do the ending part of the video, but I don't know where he is now. How you doing back there, Puzz? I'm sure he'll be fine. Hello everyone! As many of you remember my Sora Talks About series, I did an update regarding the N64 prototype solution, though as I later realized, there were other episodes that I forgot to do updates on. So hey, I might as well do them in this video. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I have alternate forms for these now. Let's see, do I have anything regarding those mysteries I said before? Unfortunately, I can't find anything regarding that THX dog spoof, though I did find one extra thing.
True full body of text! Yeah.
There's one regarding the UFO 20th Century Fox variant. It's not the actual thing, but at least it's similar enough and also official, so I still need to find it eventually. Okay, people have mentioned it a lot in the comments, so... It has arrived! The jar is real! I was shocked the first time I saw it. I didn't even think it was even able to be found. Class Geek Chupo hasn't made a new logo as of recently, although they have been getting into worse trends. Oh, past Sora. You haven't seen anything until you've seen this.
Let's talk about good orientation.
My thoughts on the Super Mario Bros. Movie hasn't changed a bit, so I don't really need to update it. Besides that, I think that's it. I don't really have a way to end this video, so... Okay, that hurt my throat. Oh my god. Okay, so you remember that video I did 6 months ago?
There is a variant of the 20th Century Fox logo involving a UFO. The table showed the 1994 20th Century Fox logo, but with a UFO capturing the 20th.
Take a look at what they did with the film No One Will Save You. They're pulling my leg here. There's a light about to capture the 20th. This is perfect. Predicting futures aside, I don't think this is the true variant I was looking for. Because I'm talking about 20th Century Fox, not 20th Century Studios. Also, where's the searchlights? Whatever, I'm glad this is happening regardless. In 1998, cartoon creator Butch Hartman created several shorts on Nickelodeon titled The Fairly OddParents, and those shorts happened to air on...
Oh yeah, cartoon!
Once Nickelodeon saw those shorts and was like, oh! And they decided to greenlight it for an actual show. However, during its time, it went through 5 cancellations, a bunch of executive changes, and it ended very abruptly in 2017. A lot of people have blamed it on the changes made to the show, as well as like the behavior of the characters and such. So for this one, I'm gonna try to attempt to fix them, kind of just making them so that way it doesn't seem like a big issue, and even then, these are all just my opinions on the fixes, so... Kind of a little scared about Ellis Morgan appearing in it. This is just my opinion. Initially when I was making this video, I thought I was gonna mirror what other people were saying about Chloe. Wow, she has killed the fairy OddParents. Wow, this character is a Mary Sue. Wow, I'm so sick of the additions of new characters. Trust me, we'll get to there when we get to there. But after doing some research and watching a few episodes on Pluto TV, my mind immediately shifted and just went, no! Outside of a few flaws, which I'll get to later, she's not actually a bad character at all. Personally, in my opinion, she was just surrounded by the other issues the show had. Maybe it's like a pebble that broke the camel's back or something.
It was you! You are the cringe-ass nay-nay baby of legend!
And if the hate wasn't enough, take a listen to the intro she premiered in.
Timmy's still an average kid that no one understands. Chloe's his new neighbor, and she's ruining all these plans.
What? Excuse me? Why do you feel the need to antagonize her in the opening lyrics? Actually, wait, no. It's not just the opening lyric. Promotions, concept art, title cards portray her as this.
Cosmo Wanda, I wish Timmy would suffer.
Literally in the context of the episode, she's meant to be portrayed as a popular girl. Not in the lines of Trixie Tang popular, but like still popular regardless. Instead of being like, oh, she's ruining his plans or something like that, just say like, oh, this new neighbor Chloe is getting some popularity. And now Timmy's starting to get very jealous. Or however you put it, it's let's just continue with the lyrics.
There's reported there's a fairy shortage, so Timmy has to share.
Okay, several questions. One, what do you mean fairy shortage?
Due to overwhelming demand and fairies taking on...
No. No. Look, I understand there's a lot of people in the world, and if some fairies want to dabble in the candle industry, go nuts, I guess.
I like candles. Sue me. I should stop ending sentences with that.
There is no reason to go in this direction. You have a whole academy, a stadium, a hospital, a wishing well, and various other locations, consisting of thousands of fairies, by the way, and you somehow think it's too short? Dude, you're just flat out lying at this point.
I blame you! You did this! You did this!
Second, why Timmy? I mean, sure, Timmy isn't a perfect person, he's made some mistakes before, but most of the time he's been handling all his issues on his own, even with his fairies or not. So where would I exactly stand with this? Well, here's a simple solution I could think of. Just simply do not make her the main character, and do not have that fairy share thing. That's just stupid. Actually, now that I think about it, should she be with Chester and AJ on their friend group or something like that? Well, something I need to think about that. However, if we're really dead set on having her having fairies, there definitely needs some certification. Such as, what if Chloe had a secret interest in mind? Kind of a franchise that kind of holds her back from being a perfect child. Maybe not like a satanic ritual, but you get what I mean. Or maybe the too perfect personality has affected her mentally, and therefore wants to be different from the crowd, rather than just... What was their reason again?
I try too hard to fix things and I end up annoying people, destroying cities, and then no one wants to be my friend!
Probably fix up her writing and she's off the hook. Where in the world were you? Look, I understand that people are not a fan of this character, but you can't just remove him without explanation to the lore. Hey Timmy, what happened to Sparky?
Internet?
I mean, according to Sparky's history, he's had a hard time finding an owner, so it's possible the same thing happened here. But I wouldn't know unless they give me an explanation! But you know what? Easy fix. Chloe really wants to have fairies so badly without having to deal with the fairy shortage. I think it's just best to give Sparky to Chloe.
Timmy Turner!
Out of all the characters that Nickelodeon has tried to force in, this is probably the worst one. I mean, logically, it makes sense. If you have a fairy, it's bound to have an anti-fairy at some point. But like, this just adds nothing. I've seen a bunch of episodes where Foop made an appearance, and I don't remember a lot of them being impactful. Which is shocking, because I remember a lot of the fairy OddParents. Back when they were on the GBA. Ooh. And the fact that they are saying like, ah yes, this demon baby will perfectly fit in the villain group. Instead of like, I don't know, Anti-Cosmo, Norm, Pixies, Tom Sawyer, Simon Cowell. You have a bunch of potential here. Use that, not the baby. Speaking of potential, I noticed there was quite a lack of characters from the previous seasons. It could be just because Butch Hartman said they weren't important later on the series. However, I would personally say to think outside the box. Try something that hasn't been done before. I could see it working. You ever notice how very out of character the characters are? Mr. Turner has become a child. Timmy starts making random noises whenever he feels like it, though I think they stopped that during the end of the series. Cosmo's voice started to get
higher and higher pitched than ever.
And his relationship with Wanda is now out of whack. It's like, What happened? I mean, I understand different writers and all, but at least give them the idea of what the characters are like before starting to write. This just comes across as off-putting. Oh boy, where do I start with this? Can't show fairies to the adults, showing evil babysitter without questioning it, plot timeline screwing up, and look, there's better ways into handling these types of situations. I think all the problems that I've explained in this video all just boil down to poor direction that caused Chloe to stunk, weird character disappearances, a character that should have disappeared long ago, and major lore mess-ups and writing issues. I feel like all those issues could be fixed with time, but due to its cancellation, I don't see that happening. But hey, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. If there's any problems with the fixes that I made, feel free to comment down below and provide your own explanation. Trust me, I know the first one I did was pretty much a hot take. But until then, see you all next time. Hello everybody, welcome to my new setup. Wait, you can't see it? Oh, hold on. Can you see it now? Alright, good. Now, I just wanted to bring something short into the table, because while I was working on Bootup Episode 2, I found the first ever draft of Bootup. Surprisingly, it didn't even start at Halo Studios. It actually started off at Gabtoons. This is actually one of my friend's animation channels, and I'll give you an example of what their work is like.
Bills. Pay. $15,000!
This draft originated from December 4th, 2018, so that's how you know how old this is. I mean, hey, for the sake of it, how about we check it out? First things first is the production credits. And if you're wondering who's Mario, that's me.
Oh my god, it's Super Mario!
Now, originally, the animation was gonna be done in Flash, and it was gonna be provided by Gabriel in Supertoon, which he actually did provide a bit of animation for the pilot, although Gabriel wasn't involved in the latter half of Bootup. Oh, besides a brief cameo of Tina. And now, let's take a look at the cast. Pretty unknown. So first we got Kimmy, which at the time she's called Corrupty. Then there's Scrubber, which
I still can do the voice of?
Moon the Weeaboo has taken over the voice, so... Next we got Rue, which he shows up in the pilot.
It's best not to question cartoon logic.
And then we got Fruity. Here's a bit of a fun fact. Fruital actually started off as female, and was actually meant to be Kimmy's partner in some way, but that was before Terra showed up. So yeah, have fun with that little trivia. And then there's Nickel Model, which I thought the name was actually kind of stupid, so he's renamed to Norton Medellin. Loggy's a pretty mysterious character. I don't have really much of a memory for her. So is Coder. It could just be one of my robot OCs that I forgot the name at the time, so... And then we got Jenny, which he actually started off in Bootup, but then we decided to move him into a different project. And then we go to the first villain before Croctro was even made.
A villain before me? Blasphemy, I tell you!
Shut up. Now if you're wondering who the heck is Skork, honestly don't really know how to describe that to you. Last but not least is talk show host. Now I initially based off this character by Stephen Colbert.
When SpongeBob gets upset, he calls Stephen Colbert.
But it could be anybody. Alright. Now let's get into the script. I'm gonna try my best to do voice impressions of the final voice characters and such. Be prepared for this big segment. So, tell us about yourself.
How do I start? Well, we live in a house in space living with 4 groups of buddies that I hang out with. Kinda simple, actually.
Wait, how are you able to breathe in space? There's no air in space!
I try.
That's not funny, you fuckers.
Huh. Anyways, why did you go to space?
Well, I heard about this news on the radio and it says, escape quickly as possible! The Toons will be converted into robots on New Year's Day! Are you okay?
Oh no. Corrupty, are you okay?
We've gotta get out of here!
What the heck is going on here?
There's no time! Get in the house!
Corrupty, you seem a bit worried about something.
Please politely get in! What was that?
It was one of those robot minions that was made by a creature called Skork.
Skork?
Back in 1998, scientists found new types of creatures called the Splorts.
The splorts are creatures that are made out of ink that trap people in metal boxes that they can never escape from. The splorts worship their leader, Skork. Skork was planning on taking over the world and even the universe if it has enough power. Skork and his minions have already taken over the planets. The only place they haven't taken over is the Milky Way. Wait, so, is that where we're heading? Yes, that's the only place the splorts have not taken over.
They haven't changed a bit, have they?
Yeah, so that was the draft. Don't get me wrong, it did sounded very in character, but it also sounded very confusing at the same time. Like, how are you guys supposed to live in this? There's no ground for you to stand on. And the fact that Corrupty didn't give a proper answer about how there's no air? Like, how? I would say my writing style has improved and made it less confusing, but now I'm not even sure anymore. So, I'll just hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.
And now, our feature presentation.
In the beginning, Shrek met Donkey.
So he can do a couple of tricks, not like he can walk on water.
Hey, everybody! Why'd you bring a cop into my command center?
So, it has come to this. I own some 35mm trailers. How did this all start? Well, let's rewind back a bit. Now, as you all may know, I've been doing my share of going through tapes and such, trying to see if anything catches my eye or something like that. They can range from either old or brand spanking new, retail or not. It's anybody's game. So as I looked in the other formats that I was interested in, Laserdisc, Betamax, heck even a CED, which I still have and is unrepaired, one format has caught my eye: motion picture film. Now, I'm no stranger to film. I own a projector myself. That's 8mm or Super 8. This type of film I'm talking about is more exclusive to theaters. 35mm. I have become so fascinated by how many people have restored the films they have in their collection, and I wanted to get in on it. Technically, my collection already started when I got the Rugrats DTS disc, but that's only specifically sound. This is actual film, and I'm pretty proud of having it. So the question is, what do I do now? I mean, obviously the answer would be, I'll just play it. Yeah, but that's the thing. How do I do that? Now, there's several avenues on where to take. Number one, I'll just buy a projector. Okay, I see no issue in that. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Number two, a telesync machine. Okay, besides the price, which is just ooh, I want you to think realistically for a second. This thing has no chance in fitting my room. They are basically behemoths. I don't need my room to be becoming more cramped than ever. Number three, film scanners. Thankfully, these ones aren't behemoths, so let's hear about them.
Hi, I'm Bob from Blackmagic, and today we're going to talk about our new Syntel Scanner 2. It features some new things, including Thunderbolt 3 connectivity. The price point of the new Syntel Scanner 2 is $29,995.
God dang it. Okay, how about the reflex, I take that back about not being behemoths. Ah, here we go, the RetroScan Universal Mark II. This one looks a little compact and does 35mm. Let's see if it... Here we go, the laser graphics scans the... It looks already too big. Number 4, do it yourself. There are currently 2 examples of DIY projects for transferring film. One's called the Goo Goose Roller, which actually seems pretty impressive, though since it uses a Raspberry Pi, which I have never used before, I have no idea how it will work with me. I assume it might be straightforward, but I can't confirm that. And the other one's called the Kinograph, which actually looks pretty good. I think that's still in development, so I'll keep that in mind. Other than that, that's pretty much all I know at the moment. There was some thought into sending it over to a film scanning professional, like FTDPOT and Kinco Video, though I don't know, I'll have to think about it. If there's any scanners I missed or you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. For now though, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Wow, what a year has this been?
This year has been pretty much just,
Oh my goodness, Sora, chill.
Hey, wait a minute, weren't you supposed to appear till later on?
I don't listen to your stupid rules, Sora. I go at any time.
Yeah, and 2024 had some good moments too. Didn't you like Sonic 3?
Oh, yeah, true.
What I'm saying is, don't let a few bad things get you down. There's always hope for the future.
Wow, that's actually some great advice coming from a guy who likes to scare a CEO.
Hey, he stole my home.
Don't you live in a home already? Didn't think about that, did you?
I swear, times were really different back then. Why did I go with a Seinfeld intro? Oh. Time for a special re-upload, I guess. I found my skibbity toilet video. Enjoy. Have you been hearing about these toilets recently? First time I saw it, I was like, oh. And then I later learned that, oh, this is an apocalypse type series. Cool, I guess. Although I do have to wonder, what if the toilets explode upon themselves like skip it up and